right, welcome to Jay's Daily Summary for Tuesday, February the 6th, 2018. First, we'll start off with Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin yesterday. We got through those levels that we had around 7,500 without much difficulty at all. This is really what I'm expecting Bitcoin to do for the next little while. I still expect it to come down. If there's going to be any bounce or reaction or retracement on Bitcoin, I believe it's going to be between these two levels here, the 58.15 and 52.45. Those are the two key levels to watch. And then we may get back up to about the 9,000. You can see I've got a couple areas shaded there in gold, 91.10 to 95.90 and 12.195 to 13.495. Otherwise, I'm actually expecting Bitcoin to go all the way down to about $1,600 US, so 1645 and 305. So on any type of trade or investment basis, I wouldn't be looking at Bitcoin until at least got down to 1645 or even lower at 305. And the only place I can see it actually maybe turning around from here would be this 5,000 area. The reason being is that if you look at Bitcoin, it's kind of the way that tech stocks were back in the late 90s and early 2000s. Great ideas can really make our lives easier moving forward. However, I don't believe the infrastructure is in place for Bitcoin, and the regulatory aspect is very uncertain. There's a lot of interest. The people that control the financial systems across the world, they don't want anything like this that's this disruptive. So unless you and I are going to decide tomorrow that you and me are only going to do transactions in Bitcoin, and all the companies and corporations out there decide that they're only going to accept Bitcoin, or that everybody is going to accept it along with existing methods of payment, it's just not there yet. So, and as we mentioned yesterday, there's been some more crackdown from a regulatory standpoint, particularly coming from China, and I'm sure there's and South Korea, and I'm sure there's going to be other nations to follow. Moving on to gold, let's take a quick look at gold here. Gold, I'm surprised it didn't do that much yesterday. You can see the levels we had, 1330 half to 1326. You can see the 1330 half. That was touched nicely, but we haven't got below that 1326. The key area of support, I believe, unless it's actually going to turn around from here, which it might given the volatility, the key area is going to be 1317.9 to 13084. If it doesn't get down there, if we don't get through this 1330 to 1326.4, then look for a retracement up to challenge the double top that we put in, 1368.2, and also I'll push through that to 1381.1. Moving along to the Nasdaq, I'm sure everybody wants me to get to at least an indice today, which we are. We've come up to a very key area on the Nasdaq. This area here, the 64.45 half, it's actually been very active. We're still during the Asian session. Frankfurt's still not open for another hour and a half, and Paris as well. And the Asian session, it's been pretty busy. Some decent moves happening during the session. We actually came up during the session to this zone here, the 64.45 core, 64.76, and then now we're coming back down to this area, 63.95, down to 63. So let me make that bigger there. Oh, okay. So 63.95, and you can see a little bounce happening around the 63.95. So expect continued volatility across the indices. And what I would be looking for is if 76 holds, 64.76 holds, stay to the short side. Look for shorts any chance you get. And if it does go back through 76, I'm not expecting that much of a retracement. So yeah, above 64.76, I'd expect a retracement up to 65.56 or 65.45.75. That little zone up there. Otherwise, if it stays below 64.76, we should see continued down movement. We did come down as close to 62.54.50 in that area. However, I'm expecting it to come further down. The only trouble spot I could see on the way down again would be the 63.40 to 63.08 half, which is actually a pretty big area. However, I really think that 6,200 is probably in play. If it continues down, 6,200 should be in play. We've tested these couple lows from December and November in this entire area here. However, if we do come back down today or over the next few days, that 6,200 I think is going to be the key area on the Nasdaq. And if we look at the euro, kind of quiet, not much happening on the euro. The key area, we've actually come into it pretty close here during the Asian session here. 123.72 half to 123.42 half. That's the key area, I think, probably for today. If that holds, expect a retracement and a retest 125.66 and possibly even 126.15. If we do get below 123.42 half, well, the zone there 122.480 to 122.095 is going to be critical on the euro. And finally, looking at crude oil. Crude oil coming down. We haven't quite got to the 63 handle yet, but looks like it's in play, and that's going to be the key zone, 62.10 to 62.92. As long as that area holds, we should see more upside action. To the upside right now, the 65 area is obviously the key area of resistance. If it does get back through 65, then I would expect probably 67, definitely 66.81, maybe a test of that top we had around 66 half. So 66.81 or 67.06 is probably in play on crude. And finally, I just wanted to plug Ninjacators here. If you're using the NinjaTrader platform, this is a great free service you can subscribe to. You get a premium indicator. It's their indicator of the month club. All you have to do is put your name and email there and tell them what you trade and your trading style. Click on join now for free, and they will send you an indicator that works on the NinjaTrader platform every month, as well as a pro grade strategy. So check that out. I'll put the link in the description, and we'll see you tomorrow.